And all the ladies say, and all the ladies say, think I like that. And all the ladies say, welcome to the champagne life. Where trouble is a bubble in the champagne glass. Dreams and reality are one the same. And we gonna do it like this. Sweetie, welcome to Champagne and Conversations. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we have the queen of hip hop. I'm going to give it to her, legend, Sweet Tea, with us today, and we are so excited because not only is this something special, but we are celebrating our anniversary, Champagne and Conversations 2 year anniversary, and I am back today, so we are so excited to have Sweet Tea with us to share new music and talk about some of the golden days and all that great stuff. So cheers to you, Mama.
Yes.
Yes, she has her champagne too. So yes, we are going to have a good time. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I wanted to ask you, what do you do for your pregame? Like before you go on stage, before you get started on a show, what do you do to get ready for it?
It's funny because I was just talking about that with somebody today, and
Okay.
I need a minute just like to myself, like I disconnect for a second just
Huh?
to, get myself together. Like the first thing I do when I come in to get ready for a show is if I have to go look at the crowd. Sometimes, most times it's somebody performing before me. I
Hmm.
get to look and see, what, where the
The
vibe
vibe
is.
is. Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
then I just need a minute to myself. Like I don't really want anybody to talk to me for a second. Just let me get my mind right.
Is it
So,
quiet or you have music on or what do you like to
I,
do?
well, I know how to make my own quiet. So it could be a room full of people and I could be by myself for a minute. And
Okay.
so I will do that just to get myself together, you
Nice.
know?
Nice. The energy, just from listening to the music and of course from us growing up skating and just going to the gym jams when they were gym jams and all of the parties that we grew up going to and to listen to your music, it was so electrifying. Like it was just the vibe from it was big and bold. And I congratulate the females of that era. Of course, we love all of them. We give them all their roses for you guys just setting a bar, a stage, a foundation for just being a lady and just being a dope MC and dominating it. And I want to know how much of that did you all experience? Like you had males in that same realm, of course, out rapping and doing your thing. Did you all just kind of gel together, or did you feel like there was some sense of like competition sometimes, or did you ever get any kind of ill feelings from, you all being ladies in the hip hop world as well as the males that were coming up at that time or coming out at the same time?
My experience, like, and I can really only speak for me,
Mm-hmm.
is it was just love, like
Love.
every
Okay.
time, like
Yeah.
I didn't have there was no, ill feelings. Like we were just happy to see each other when we got to the show. It's like, oh my God, yeah. So, I mean, I didn't get to feel any of that. There could be some females that could give you a different perspective, but that wasn't mine. You have to remember too, I was with Idol Makers. And at the time, that Salt and Pepper was the top female group. So like our camp was female. It was me, it was Salt and Pepper for a minute when, till Antoinette moved on to other things. She was with us. And, it was, Herbie always encouraged us. We were just as strong as anybody else working. So I didn't get to feel that kind of thing with the guys.
That's so great. I've heard that in several instances. I just was curious because, I mean, of today's time, we get a little bit of, they state women get a little disrespected in some of the rap verses and such, depending on the artist. So I just wondered if, in fact, when you all, were coming out and main stage, did you ever experience any of that? But that's awesome that it was all love and, those gentlemen that were around were making certain that you guys were great. And your sisters, as you speak of Salt and Pepper, and Antoinette, but you also mentioned that you were, I guess, really, really friends or influenced by the Queen Latifahs and MC Lights of the world as well. So you all kind of came together to create what, like a family of hip hop, I guess is what you would
Yes,
consider it.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Those are my girls to this day. Like,
That's so dope. Now, I gotta ask you, I gotta get a story, any kind of story, when you all were either on a tour or at a party or just in a studio session, anything that was just really memorable for you.
well, it's funny that you mentioned Heavy D earlier when we were talking, and
Yeah.
you know, Heavy D played like he was a great person to be around, and he I remember one time, Heavy D show was explosive. Like he has, I mean, so much energy in his show. And so one show we had, I can't remember where it was, but he had to get on a flight to get to another show.
Uh-huh.
Because lots of times back then we were getting off stage, getting thrown in cars, getting to a next show, doing 2 or 3 shows in one night and stuff like that. So, he came to my dressing room and he was like, Toy, um, I'm gonna go on before you, and then you're gonna close the show. And I was like,
Huh?
no.
You're like, huh?
Like,
Why?
no.
You're
And he
crazy.
looked, and he was like, Toy, you can do it. You could close the show. Just close the show. He said, I can't wait till after you go because I have to get on the plane. So he gave me hugs and encouragement or whatever. And I went on and, I mean,
Killed it.
I pumped harder than I ever did because
Yes.
then I had to close and I had to go behind heavy. So that was a great night for me because I was like, okay, you know,
It was
I can
great
close.
motivation, right? Great energy, great. But did you watch his whole show so that you could get to that point of being ready when you came out, or did you just kind of go with your vibe and let it rock?
Well, I did a lot of shows with him.
Uh-huh.
We traveled a lot together.
Hmm.
So, tour buses and like we traveled a lot together. So, I mean, I pretty much knew his show. So, of course, I'm back
Okay.
with my DJ. I'm back with
Yeah.
my DJ. Like, yo, this is what we got. This is what we got to do.
Run a show, change that real quick.
Pay attention to me. If I stop this song, like I was going through the drill, like, and,
Yes.
and so, I
It was
did my
it was
thing,
that
but
you did your thing. Obviously, you still doing your thing, and we definitely gonna get into that. I know that this is a kind of a question is like asking people or asking someone about their kids, just which one is your favorite. It's not nice, but I like to ask anyway. Any song that you loved the most out of all of the like everyone on your album? Did you have one that you really enjoyed performing or really perform or making?
mm, okay, It's My Beat is probably always going to be my favorite. And it was because the night I met Herbie, he dropped me off at home and I stayed up the whole night and I wrote the record and I like said, and I think it should have a bass line, like, and I started humming the bass line and I put this all on this answering machine back then. It was answering machine. So
Answer machine, yes.
so he called me, I guess after he just listened to it, and he was like, as soon as I get up in the morning, I'm gonna call you and I'm gonna come pick you up. And we went the next day and he laid the funky drama and put everything underneath the beat and played the bass line and we put that record together. And that's like, I guess it's always been my baby ever since.
Yeah,
So,
that's so cool. Yeah, it's definitely a fly song. It's
and it's
like that is mine. But
and it's
yeah,
also the record that got me my record deal.
cool.
So
And how long did it take you to create that?
one day,
One day. I gotta love it. Now, do you write or do you just go in and off the dome, you just freestyle and make it hot?
and now I have to write.
Okay. You gotta
There's
write.
times where you can, go in and get some lines, but I have to write. Like I have to see it, like being in some kind of you know, methodical order.
Yeah,
So yeah,
wordplay and
so even
such.
if I come up with stuff in my head, I still write it down and look at it. So I write.
Yes. Were you compared to anyone as you were, kind of creating your own lane? Was there anyone people were comparing you to at that time?
No,
I love
there
it.
wasn't like a whole lot of us, so
Yeah.
everybody had like a sort of a lane, you know.
Yep.
I was Sweet Tea, I had the doobie, the braid, the brown skin, Queen Latifah, the hat and
Yes.
the look, and everybody had this thing about them. Moni Love had the British accent, Salt and Pepper,
Roxanne
they had
Shante.
plenty of styles. Now Roxanne Shante, she rhymes off the top of her head. She
Yes.
does.
Yes, she
So she's amazing to watch when she does that. And she can still do it to this day,
still do it.
you
Yes.
know?
And
Yeah.
speaking of
So
that, you all are coming to Richmond.
yeah,
Normally I'd say that as we close out, but I'm excited about it. So I can't wait. They'll be in Richmond, guys, in June, and I am going to go so I can see you all. That'll be super fun. And you have it posted on your page, which if you can go ahead and give your social media so that everybody can follow you for that.
yes. My social media, all of it is Sweet Tea the MC. SWEETTEE the MC. And
DMC.
so if any DJ, anybody needs the record, it's sweettee the MC@gmail.com. You can email me, for anything that you need. And on my social media, Sweet Tea the MC.
Sweet tea to MC. Yay! It's such an honor to be able to spend today with you. I was so excited. And of course, MJ, she goes over and beyond to make things happen. So, her coordinating this, we definitely want to send her some love as well for doing that
Absolutely.
and making that happen. Now, musical influences growing up, who were they?
Mm. So, I mean, most of them were singers when I was growing up because there was
Okay.
no rap music when I was growing up. So, of
Hmm.
course, come on,
Disco.
let's name the top. Michael Jackson, the Jackson Five,
That's it.
um,
You can
Stevie
stop right there.
Wonder.
Yes, yes, we're
See,
best friends.
yeah, and the thing is with my household growing up, like
Uh-huh.
especially at my dad's house, um, he played music 24/7. Like you went to bed, the records just kept the albums just keep playing over and over. Even when
Right.
we left the house, the music just still played. When you came in, the
Wow.
music was already playing. So I listened to everybody and everything. The newest whatever record it was, we were listening to it. And
That's
so
yeah.
I,
Now, did
I
you write with that music playing, or did you have to write in quiet when you were creating your rhyme?
I mean, well, when I was younger, there was no writing. That started late teenage years,
Mm-hmm.
and by that time, I was picking records that had little instrumental pieces, and I was starting to rhyme to them. We were making pause tapes, for those of you who know what that is, and we were, I started writing when I was in high school.
Yes. So cool. I mean, just the span of your career, did you think that it would become what it actually became, or you just kind of went into it and, we'll see where it goes?
At that time, I don't think anybody understood where it was going. We were just doing it. We were in the parks, we were everywhere. We were just doing it. It was just something that we were creating as we went along. And as it started, people started like labels started forming and people started signing us and everything
Yeah.
started happening. Then, damn it, it turned into a business. But, you know, and then it was important at that time. It's one thing that I always want to say to everybody is definitely make sure you take care of your business because we didn't really know, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
We didn't really know then, but it's very, very important to take care of the business aspect of everything you're doing.
What
So,
is there anything you would do different?
um, I don't know if there was much that I could have done different because the standard deals then weren't really fair deals. But, you know, but how were we to know that? You would think, oh my God, they're signing me for 10 albums. You would think that that's like the greatest thing in the world, but it's not.
Right.
But why would you know that? It sounds great, you know? So you learn.
Yeah, you learn. But now, as it related to your creativity, the craft, did you lose any energy from that once you crossed over into having to deal with the business, or you feel like you just pretty much left the creativity part in place and just kind of roll with the business?
Well, when you're signed to a label, it's like you have room for your creativity because you have a machine pushing you. You have a machine working with you. You just have a schedule of places you have to be, things you have to do. But you know, part of your job is your main job is to be creative and make records that they can work.
Yeah,
So that was pretty good. Like now it's a little bit different because now, like without dealing with a label, now it's an issue because you got to balance your creativity and your business
yeah,
and social media and talk about or think about what part of your life that you want to share with people because that's what they want,
right,
and
right.
that might not be things that I'm used to, you know.
Yeah, we didn't have
Um,
that then. So you had to be creative on just the wax or when you got on the mic and that was it. Now it's everything. Everything is open. So yeah.
Everything is open,
It's
you
definitely
know.
different to be able
Yes,
to
it is.
experience it. And I think, I mean, it's good and bad with that because it allows for us to open up to see more of the individual as a person and not just as the icon as we, idolize them to be. Like we know you're human. So I think that's a good connection. So you're like, oh, yeah, she does the same things that I do. And then it makes it even more of, a connection for your fans to be able to say, I love you. I love you. I love you. I mean, we're gonna love you regardless, but it gives that another level, right? And I think that's dope in terms of today's time with social media. Of course,
Mhm.
back then we had to wait for you guys to come out and do a signing, and then we would just try to jump on everybody to get our little vinyl sign or whatever. And you all might sign 10 and then you blowing kisses and you got to wait till the next event or whatever. So this is cool, and I'm speaking from a fan at this point because I mean, that was just what we had to do. So yeah,
But it can get so scary though.
yeah,
It can get really fickle. Like we can be talking and I can say something like, I hate the color green. I hate green. Green is like I just don't like green. And then somebody might be like, well, why doesn't she like green? Well, I don't like her because I don't like, how could
because she
she
doesn't
not
like
like
green.
green? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like you choose
Yeah,
your
I guess so.
yeah. Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
So
I mean, I didn't think about it like that, but yeah, you do have those folks in the comments and they get down and they start this whole thing, and you're like, really? Is that
yeah,
what we're gonna do?
yeah,
I just simply said I didn't like it, and you have taken this to a whole nother level.
whole nother
Um,
level.
yeah, so I guess so in terms of that. Now, as we're speaking of today and social media and such, female rap artists, female hip hop artists of today. Any on your favorite, I won't say top five, but any on your fave list?
Yeah, I love Doja Cat. I was talking
Yeah,
about that earlier. Like
yeah,
I like her. She's so out the box and she's in the box, but she's so out the box.
yeah.
And
I
that's what
like
I
her.
love about her. I really when I can sit there and look at an artist and say, well, what in the hell made her think flow like that or rhyme like that or talk about that, then you have my interest. You're really piquing my interest at that
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
So
Anyone
yeah,
else?
I mean, I watch Lotto, of course. I watch Meg. I watch Nikki. Because they all bring something to the table. All of
So
them bring something to the table.
and we won't say anything in terms of we won't call you guys, the icons, the legends in this respect. We will just say that you guys exemplified a level of womanhood, at least for us growing up. And I'm going to speak for my generation, the culture in which we grew up in. But I am curious to know what you think about just the display or, the way that they sell their music, from performances. I mean, of course, we know bodysuits and such are just what it is in terms of entertainment, but when it gets a little bit more explicit and such, do you What are your thoughts on that?
For me, I feel like everyone is going to run their path of what it is they feel like they need to do. And, you know, um, if it sells, if it works, if it fulfills what it is they want to do, then, who am I to judge with that? You know,
Hmm.
that's all I can really say about that. I mean, personally, I guess because of where we came from, like that's not something we do on stage, like we had clothes on.
Yeah.
Um, and I don't know if we can adjust differently, you know. It's just like, it's just like things change. Things change and they've moved on to that. And, some of it is beautiful, some of it they could probably do without.
Hmm.
And I feel like that along with that, if your skill is there, like, and if you can lean more on your skill a little bit, you might not have to do some of the things that you're doing, but I don't dislike it. Just whatever's working,
Yes. So
whatever works for you.
you're making new music. Are we going to see a new set from your performance?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay. Okay, so let's talk about it. It's first things first,
Hmm.
and that's your new and you stated that this is more like a mixtape, so you're releasing it as such, and then you're going to come out and perform it. So tell us the ideology of, how this came together, and what your plans are for this new mixtape and new vibe.
Well, I work and have been working for the last 3 years with Pudgy the Fat Bastard. And Pudgy is amazing, amazing to work with, amazing vocal coach, amazing. He's an amazing singer, amazing writer, amazing everything.
Mm-hmm.
And also it's just really, really we have become so close. And when he played me the track, and I was like, really? We know who rhymes on that track, right?
Yes.
So I was like, are we doing that?
There's only one me. Ain't no marathon, these boys can't run me. I know they want me. Tell them I'm taking donations like GoFundMe. First things first, I need take money like robbery. Treat these like they just hobbies. Don't blame me, you can't deny me. Your ex can stand beside me, but ain't no besides me. Difference is I'm so wet, they soggy. When we're sexing, our soundtrack is Mozzie. He told me that the box is realer than 93. The ice on my neck, it costs about a key. Could it be the race or just the face? I can stand still and to still chase. If they lose me, they
Now, I would have been just play the whole song, but I didn't want to stop you from your talking. But that's a vibe. It's called First Things First, ladies and gentlemen. And Sweet Tea goes off. Now, I'm just going to tell you, I only heard it about 5 minutes ago, so I'm just not hearing it and acting like that. I'm really loving it at the beginning of it when she turned it on. I was like, this is it. Of course, because it's well, we won't talk about too much of the track. So go ahead. I'm sorry. You were sharing as to how the idea of the track came along and that. I got
Yeah. And
excited.
so, Pudgy was like, get on the mic. Let's get on the let's do it.
Let's
And I
do it.
was, yeah. And when we work, there's not I can't talk about what I can't do, or what, he doesn't work like that. So I just work. So,
How
um,
long did it take you to create that one?
well, collectively, I don't know, maybe like 2 days.
Okay. It's so cool. It's so cool. So that track, you felt like you had to really step it up. Did you feel any pressure, or you were just like, it's just another track. I'm just gonna go in and do me.
Yeah, yeah. You had
Yeah.
to race the
That
other
that's the
person.
humble, that's the humble answer. Like, chick, I'm fly. I know. Don't even try. I can get up there and kill it.
Listen, all you can do when it's any track is get on it, and if at the end of the day you don't like the result,
Yes.
um, then you take it from there. But you won't know if you don't try or you
Yeah,
don't get on the song and just do what you gotta do.
do
Just
what you
have
got to
fun
do,
with it.
finessing it.
Hmm.
So, what's the feedback so far? What have you been hearing from it?
It's getting pretty good feedback. It's getting
Yes.
pretty good feedback.
Super dope. So, do you have plans in terms of tour? I know I've already kind of let one out that you all are doing, but do you have a tour set for your coming out, or are you still putting that together?
We're actually working on show dates right now, and so
Okay.
I don't know when like a tour will be setting off or getting set off, but we're working on definitely on show dates at this
How
point.
long has it been since you've been out on the road?
I've never stopped going up the road.
Okay.
Going on the
All right.
road. I stay working. Like I mean, if you look on my page, you'll see some of the dates. I haven't posted every show I've done, but I work. You know.
Yes, that's cool. And then of course you're doing a combination of your I won't say your classics. Let's just say that. We'll say you're doing a combination of your classics and now your new music. So that's certainly a vibe, I'm sure. Who usually are you out with when you are touring?
I do shows with Nice and Smooth. Um, you know, Big Daddy Kane and Rakim. We've done a few shows. We did um Special Ed I go out with.
Yes. Okay.
Um, God, I mean, I see a lot, the shows differ when I go out, you
Right.
know,
Right.
the shows differ. Chubb Rock, Dina Dean,
All
you
the
know.
ones we love, all of our legends, absolutely. So it's definitely a super dope. And now, any stories you want to give us about any of those that you spoke of? Because we love to hear it. Rakim, we we love to hear them. Now, I can't walk away from it without asking. Do you have one?
No, no,
No.
not one I could think of offhand.
Okay, well, if you do, just cut me off and say, "Oh, I do have something I can tell you about one of the things that they were doing out on tour." We just love to hear it. It feels like we're there for the moment. Now, in your career, you actually had a group that came out with you as well. And let's talk about a bit of the timing for your group, the kind of attitude or the direction in which you were anticipating the group to go, because of course I look at them as in the time frame where TLC was like kind of in a vibe as well as the Brat, but I'm not sure if they were in the same time frame. So I just wanted to get some information from you about them.
So we're talking about the Poison Posse.
Yes.
Yes. So that was a group of talented girls. They
Hmm.
weren't a group. I fused them together.
Hmm.
And I thought that they would I thought they were gonna be out there. I guess old people when they have a group and a group idea, you think that that was what was gonna happen.
Hmm.
Um, Due to I guess their not being able to like get along,
Oh, okay.
it just didn't go where it
Yeah.
needed to go. But God, they would have took off.
Talented.
I mean, their personalities were explosive.
Yeah, it
Mhm.
kind of put me into mind of Crisscross in the female side when I was watching
Mhm.
them, and I wasn't sure in terms of the time frame. So they came out early 90s or mid 90s.
Yeah.
Yes. And so but their lyrics and such and their approach to everything was still that kind of that flow. One of them definitely, she had a ridiculous flow and I was like, okay. And then I went looking for more and more and I was like, oh, I've got to ask T,
Mhm.
where did they go? What did they decide to do? And I guess unfortunately with the groups we always have that um somehow, some way, we can't always just gel when we should and understand that everyone has a part and a lane, as we were talking about before we came on, to just stay in that and just ride it out. I mean, they definitely probably would have been, like you said, what you anticipated them to be, for
Yeah.
sure. Mm-hmm.
And just for starters, and me trying to create like this vibe for them, like I produced and penned that whole album to try
Mm-hmm.
to like get them started. And I really just wanted them to take on a life of their own.
Okay.
And I knew they were capable of doing it. And but you can't pick, personalities are personalities, and sometimes it just doesn't work. And you know, that group will always be held dear to me because I
Yay.
really thought that they were really, really talented.
Are any of them doing any solo projects or no?
Not that I know of.
Okay. All right. So collab wise, and I know this question you have been asked before, but I do want to ask it again.
Mhm.
Um, who's on your, I guess, bucket list to collaborate with? Do you have any that you're thinking about?
Hmm. I would love to do a record with Rick Ross.
Okay.
Um, of
Yay.
course, like an out of the box Doja Cat record, I would love.
Okay.
Um, because I mean, in my collection of music, I have pop records. I like different kinds of stuff. So I would love to do a record with her. And just a lot of people I would like to do records with, but that's too.
That's two that you can you muted. Yeah, two that you definitely want to work with. Not a Drake, not a Kanye.
Hmm. Drake is definitely like that's a ultimate like Drake is. I love Drake.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He
Yeah.
is so smooth. I love the singing. I love the rhyming. I love the idea. The ideas he comes up with as well. He's very, very creative.
Yes.
He's definitely very
And
creative.
any producers that you'd like to work with?
Mm. I can't think of any offhand that I would like. There's so many producers. There's so many producers, and um, some of my best songs just came from a producer that you never heard of. You know, so
Mm-hmm.
no, I haven't studied. Like, I can't think of who I would want to do a record with.
Just when they send it is what you said before. When they send the
Yeah,
track, then you'll get
yeah,
on it, see how it
yeah.
goes.
I
Yes.
mean, like, I learned that, like, I was dealing with the producer that made Put Your Hands Where Your Eyes Can See for Buster. And I was working closely with him. And he made that beat for that record the night before, and he had an opportunity to play for Buster. And Buster took the record like immediately. So then when I saw him, he was like, Yo, T. And I said, What are you Yo T and me about? I said, I would have never done what he did to that beat. And I might not have even picked that beat, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I said, yo, he did that and you did
Yeah,
that.
you
And I'm
bodied that.
happy for you. You know what I'm saying? Like I would have
Uh-huh.
never flowed like that on that beat. You know how many people try to rhyme on that beat and it's never gonna be what Buster
No,
did to that beat. It's
no
like why
way.
bother even
Yeah.
just turn your mic off. You know what I'm saying? So,
Find something else.
yeah, do another beat. What are you doing?
Yeah.
So you don't know where this hit is coming from.
Hmm.
So I've never like obsessed on like there's some great producers out there, and I would love to be in the presence of any of them and get a track, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm letting you speak it all into existence that by
Hmm.
summer you'll be making an entire new album. That'll be super, super cool. Yes. Super,
Let's
super
go, let's
cool.
go.
Yes, I think it's so dope just to listen to your flow and the cadence and such that you put out, and then especially if you're saying that it takes you only a day or so to put it together, it's like that's amazing. That is talent. And that's the part that we appreciate, of course, when we're looking at artists and calling you guys icons and legends to say that, you don't have to really, really overthink it. You don't have to overproduce it. You just, let it go, and it gives us something powerful. And still today, 20 years, 25 years, you have, I didn't even check, I'm sorry, any of your music celebrating an anniversary, because we don't want to go without saying happy anniversary on any of your, well, your album, your tracks, any of them, do you know?
Well, my 30th anniversary passed a little while ago, so
Oh, well,
I'll
happy
bring, yeah. So
belated
there's a,
anniversary.
yeah. So, um, I think it was just before COVID. So,
Tea
I think
time,
we're
is
looking
that?
at yeah, we're looking
Uh-huh.
at
Okay.
the 35th, so that'll be, I believe, next
Oh,
year.
wow. Okay.
Let's try that one. So
Yay. Cheers to that. That's so cool. And how does that feel? Does it feel like, you know, a major milestone, or do you feel like I still want to go at it and I want to do more?
I'm never gonna stop. I've never stopped going in the studio, and let's just stop it. I'm just never gonna stop. That's it. People, oh, you're gonna move on. Like there's never gonna be a time that beats don't come on, and it's just always gonna be in my head. I grew up that way. I'm built that way, and that's just what it is. You
Yeah.
know. And I wanted to say something else to you. You happen to particularly ask about two songs that uh didn't take that long to do, but there are songs that you've gone in over and over and over and over again. I can't nail the rhyme. I can't nail how I'm saying it. I can't. Some that are still sitting there, like, are we going
Okay.
in again with this? So there are songs like you just happen to mention two that didn't take that long,
Uh-huh.
but
Uh-huh.
yeah, there are quite a few that takes a minute to get done. So,
Okay, okay. It just depends on what you're working on, or you
mhm.
maybe is it the moment? Like, I mean, does it have to be like a place where maybe your head is clear, or just the studio, or the track itself? What usually gives you that, like go in what you're doing?
Well, sometimes it's just about how you lay it. Like, it's like, okay, I can hear this in your voice. I can hear the tide in your voice. Okay, that doesn't sound like you. This is not, this piece doesn't sound right, And if it's a record that I didn't write, it's like, can you nail the record? Do you like the record? There's a lot of different aspects,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. It just depends on what's going on at that time. I
yeah.
always like to know because, studio sessions are so different for everybody. And of course, that's the place where the magic is made. So when you're really wanting to be a part of that, and as we get these opportunities to step into these stories and listen to what you guys are actually able to create in your spaces, I love to just walk into that and figure it out, just so we can get an idea of what was influencing you to make such an amazing body of work. But whatever it was great. And whatever it is, it's still great because you're doing the thing. And first things first is a vibe. I feel like you probably felt like you had to step it up, of course, because of what had already been done. So at least you nailed that. You're like, listen, if I'm gonna come correct for sure. And please share Instagram, your social media again, website, anywhere that they can actually stream or find the music, so that for those that may be trying to catch it, and I'm gonna play it again for anyone that may just be joining us, so that they can get the vibe from it just for now. But please share all that information again if you don't mind.
Okay. So my social media, Sweet Tea the MC, SWEET the MC, on all social media platforms. If you need to email me, it's sweetteathamc@gmail.com for, whatever it may be. We're going to put a link up on Instagram for you to go to the record and download the record. So we're waiting on that, and we're gonna put that up momentarily.
Do you have merch also?
No, mm-mm,
Okay. Is it
not
coming?
yet. Yes, we're working on it. We're definitely
Yay.
working on some merch ideas.
I can see it. I can see the merch ideas for sure because of your flow. But this is everything. And ladies and gentlemen, we have spent our afternoon evening with Sweet
The
Tea.
first nut after the first
And
lady.
this
So better
is
catch your
First
blessings,
Things
baby. First
First.
things first. If you leave me, you went from the best to the worst. You ain't gonna be able to put it in reverse. The first nut after the first lady. So better catch your blessings, baby. First things first. Every time I lay it, everything. First things first. Every time I lay it, everything.
I love it.
Every time I lay it, everything. Every first choice at the Birkin Club. You got my name on your tongue, better be moving in circles. Keep it low key, please don't OV. To believe, best believe, they follow me to believe.
Yay! Follow you to Belize. Yes, I love it. We stopped right in the good parts. Sweet Tea, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for celebrating with us our anniversary. Cheers to you. I know you didn't have an opportunity to drink much champagne, but please enjoy it. And we love you. We thank you for your contribution to the culture, to the music. I'm so again honored to be able to have spent this time talking to you, and we look forward to the new music. And I look forward to meeting you real soon here.
Absolutely. I see you in VA.
Yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. We had Sweet Tea, and please feel free to check out her new song, her soon to be merch, and her tour that will be coming real soon. Cheers. Hang with us just a second. I'm going to take us out of here.